It's day one of tearing down the cloffice and turning it into a dry bar. This is currently what the cloffice space looks like, and while it is extremely functional, I am ready for something new, and I feel like a dry bar is perfect for this space since it's off my dining area. So let's talk about what I'm thinking for the bar. I gathered a bunch of inspiration from Pinterest and compiled my favorite images into one space. What I found is I'm very drawn to bars with arched corners. I love the idea of a glass counter cabinet to display my favorite items, and I saved a lot of white countertops with warm tones mixed throughout. I then took my dimensions and mocked up how I think I want it to look and sent it to a render artist to see what it might look like once completed, and that's that. Let's get to work. It is time to take all of this down. If there's one good thing about redoing this, it's that I've learned a lot like what kind of screws to use. I use these Phillips head screws as supports for the shelving, and honestly, 𝗓𝗏𝗡, everyone. 𝗓𝗏𝗡 is the way to go. These are probably gonna strip as I'm taking them out. I'm really scared, actually. Whew. Okay, not as bad as I thought. I keep a little tiny Tupperware because if they're not stripped, they're still good screws. R.I.P. Oh, feels so wrong. Should we do it? This was the first cabinet I ever built. Check this out. This is gonna take a long time. I have a feeling. The next part in this project is that I need to create essentially a wall to hang the drywall onto. I need to close up this portion where there's like an inset right here, and then up in here where there's like a 2-foot wall. So in order to do that, I'm creating like a railroad system. I'm just using like common wood because this isn't gonna be seen. It just needs to be really sturdy. So come with me to the outside. Welcome to my little workstation. Very formal. Now these are 8-foot pieces, so I just need to cut them right in the middle to make them 2 4-foot pieces. Okay, let's go back inside. 1 by 3, 1 by 3. And then I'll have support pieces going to and from like a railroad track. And that's what my drywall will attach to. So same thing for the other side and for the ceiling. Okay, moment of truth. I have built the top ladder. I'm gonna call it a ladder just because a frame, ladder frame ladder. I decided to do that, then do the top, and then put the left one on last. And yes, it is a little crooked, but it's going to work. So all I need to do now is get it up in position and screw it into the studs, which I've already marked. I already have my screws screwed into where the studs are. I measured them before I brought this up here. It's gonna be tight. Maybe too tight. Just gotta wiggle her in there. Ooh. It's not a bad thing that it's super tight as long as I can get it level. pretty close. We're pretty close, guys. I think my camera might run out of memory. I'm so sorry. Hello, happy new day. Let's talk about, ooh, this might be really loud. 1 second. Let's talk about what I did last night that's gonna translate over in today. So last night I traced onto this piece of cardboard my arch curve from my archway that I built, because I want the arch here, the curve, to be the exact same as that curve. You know, I want them to be cohesive. So I will cut out this part, have this sliver as a template, then I will trace this template and cut out it onto a piece of 1/4 inch plywood, which is the same thing that I did for my arch over there. I just recently got, I haven't used this before, but I've seen great reviews on it, this 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗢𝗢. Essentially, you can make up to 24-inch cuts hooking up your circular saw to it. And I have such a hard time making straight cuts. Like, I've always just used my jigsaw. It wasn't up until recently that I got a circular saw, and I would use like a piece of wood with my jigsaw, and that's literally how I built the cloffice, was just clamping down a piece of wood using my jigsaw. So probably why I had so much error building that cloffice. Oh my gosh, why can't I get into this? Okay, so I have figured it out. You take this, I've attached my saw to the cut guide, slide it on. Hook it to the edge. I'm doing 24, which is the furthest this can go. And then I'll lock it down. So now she's locked. All right, guys, I have both of the arch, what am I calling these? I have both of the arch supports up. This is what the drywall is going to attach to. Again, I'm doing the exact same thing that I did when I built my arch over there. But I think it's time for me to call it a day. I have been at it all day, and tomorrow we're gonna I need to put the support pieces in here, and we're gonna get to drywalling, and then we can get to some cabinet building, which I'm super excited about. All right, guys, we are getting, oh, sorry, Scout, a very late start to the day. It's 2 p.m. I was planning on starting at like noon. But I need to go outside and set up the table saw, because today, not table saw, I don't have a table saw, the miter saw, because the first thing I need to do is add braces between these two. This is just like ignore this is gonna be covered up. But I need to add braces between these two pieces, arch pieces, and then I can attach the drywall to everything. So hopefully we're gonna be doing a lot of drywalling today. You know, I've kind of like come to like drywalling. Granted, I've only done it once, and that's when I did my arch build, but it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's kind of therapeutic, honestly. So anyway, let's go set up the miter saw. No, you fit. One thing I've learned about drywall, it's easier, this sounds silly, but it's easier to start big and go smaller than to go smaller and then have to patch. I know you're probably like, oh my gosh, Amber, duh. So my corner pieces, I'm gonna do those first, and then I'm gonna do the under arch first, then I'm gonna do the sides. When I was at the hardware store, this is a 4x8 sheet. I had them cut it down right down the middle, so a 2x8. So I have two 2x8, because I knew I was gonna need all of the drywall, but I can't fit a 4x8 in my car. While I was at the hardware store, I also got some insulation foam, mostly to cut my cabinets, but I might have once or twice when I was doing the archway gotten the floor with the razor blade, so I'm gonna use it for this too. Good morning, guys. Yesterday I ended without saying anything to you. I kind of got a little frustrated with the 2 corner pieces, and I think I needed a break. I got up really early. I worked really hard. It's a lot of work to like think through all the math, think through all the problem solving, and then do the work. And I think by like 5:30, I was like, it's time for me to sit down and sit on the couch and make some dinner. We're gonna get all the drywall up today. That's the goal. Here's what I will say about something else that I did yesterday. I've got scout hair all in my mouth. Because I need to know where these support pieces are, I marked them on this drywall right here, and I also marked them going down the wall for these support pieces. I did the same on the other side, because once I get the drywall up, I won't be able to see where those supports are anymore. So if you're doing this, just remember that you will need to mark those supports that you put up there in order to know where to attach your drywall with the screws. So just a little tidbit there. So let's get to work. I have a confession. We're tearing down the corners.